Hello, the new version of the Qt framework is 6.6.1, was just released and is already available via the Qt online installer. Since I use kdesrc-build with Qt framework from the Qt online installer, let's update to the latest version of Qt and then let's update kdesrc-build. So for that, we're going to open the maintenance tool. Next. Add or remove components, next. Okay, so you will need to uncheck 6.6.0 if that's what you have installed, and you will need to check the components from version 6.6.1. I have selected everything except the things which take a ton of space, which is the debug information and sources. I've also unchecked the mobile device support and the web browser support. And because the KD community does not use 3D at all, so Qt 3D and Qt Quick 3D Physics, the rest I have checked. So no debug information, no sources, no mobile phones, no 3D, no WebAssembly. And then I also had the chance to install Qt Creator 12.0. I was at 12.0, RC2. So that's it. Now let's see how kdesrc-build behaves. So for that, let me go to the directory. So I have it in ~/kd, an installation of kdesrc-build for Qt 6. Since the version of Qt has changed, I totally cannot keep the USR directory. I will basically need to rebuild everything from scratch. All of the non-KD repositories, Git repositories that depend on the Qt framework, and of course all of the KD Git repositories, because all of them depend on the Qt framework. These are the intermediate build directory for CMake files and generated files, so this needs to go also. I'm using Shift-Delete to not send anything to the trash, to the recycle bin, so just delete the files. So I have the src directory in here. There's just git clones clean. Should be no reason to actually delete this directory. Let's make sure that kdesrc-build is up to date. The git repository, kdesrc-build. Okay, so let's do a fetch. Let's do a rebase. Let's see what's in there. So we should be local branch master, remote branch origin master. This is great. Let's look at the configuration file one more time. So these are this is a configuration file that was created by default by kdesrc-build, following the procedure on how to install kdesrc-build, which is this one. Get involved, development, this thing. Okay, the changes that I did were in order to not use Qt6 from my Linux operating system, because the packages from my Linux operating system are really old. Let's actually look at the versions. So apt search Qt6. So there's version 6.4, whereas some KDE Git repositories can build with 6.5, and other KDE Git repositories, I guess, already depend on 6.6. So the version of Qt6 from my Linux operating system, which is Kubuntu 23.10, is too old for me. So that's why I am forced to use Qt6 from the Qt Online installer. Okay, so this is the way you set it up. You follow instructions here, which I did. And then before actually starting to build, I'll need to customize this installation that was created by kdesrc-build initial setup, such that it uses Qt from my installation. So let's see where that installation lives. So that's under Qt. This is the old directory, so even the directory has changed. Now it's tilde/Qt/661. It used to be tilde/Qt/660. So we'll totally need to update the configuration file for kdesrc-build, so the file kdesrc-build.rc. So in here should be a 1. So these are defaults. This is mandatory in order to use Qt from the Qt Online installer. This is also mandatory in order to use Qt from the online installer, because I'm on a Linux operating system that's from the Debian family. And in here we have in lib directories with C++ compiler triplet, whereas Qt 6.6.1 was built on a really old Red Hat operating system, where the name of the lib directory is just lib. Okay, I have replaced the original line, which is cmake options dcmake build type rel with debinfo with debug, because I want to debug the binaries that I generate and executables. This is the number of my CPU threads. These are defaults, and these are also defaults. These are some exercises where I try to make some Git repositories build. Okay. So with that in mind, the instructions to use Qt6 from the online installer are on this wiki page. It says Qt6 installed using Qt Online installer. Let's check and see that the instructions are still valid. So you download the online installer, you make it executable, you run it, you do these two changes that we talked about. So the qtdir and lib name lib, and also gpgme refuses to build unless I create this directory. So /home/qt/work. And then I make this symlink, which I did. Okay. Right now, I guess that kdesrc-build is set up correctly, and I can start building. Whenever I start building, I start in the same order all of the time, because the configuration file kdesrc-build.rc is in the current directory, so in tilde/kd/src/kdesrc-build. I always need to make sure that I'm in this directory to change into this directory, and then because kdesrc-build and kdesrc-run are not part of my path environment variable, I need to prepend the command lines with /. So kdesrc-build the very first thing to build is kconfig, because this will git clone 3 kd git repositories and build 2 of them. Let's see the outcome. So ~kd/usr/share for ECM for this git repository, extra CMake modules. And for kconfig, which is building, one-third of time to wait. Okay, we'll still wait a bit. It should be fast enough. So kconfig is the configuration framework for configuration files with an INI file-like structure that are used by the KDE Git repository. So this is a KDE framework version 6. So it has building kconfig and then make running install, has changed the ~kd/usr directory like this, created a bin directory with 2 executables, created a lib directory with the Debian style triplet, and then SO files, symlinks, QML support for kconfig, 2 more executables, which are not part of the path environment variable, but are part of libexec. CMake files such that other KDE Git repositories can find the KDE framework version 6 kconfig. And also in share, locales, and this thing. So previously just the directory ~kd/usr/share/ecm existed at this step, but at this step a large number of files, like more than 1000 files and directories, have been created. Okay, so kconfig has built correctly. The next step would be to build kcalc, which is 20 KDE Git repositories. Okay, so this will take a while because I already had kdesrc-build installed previously, not for Qt 6.6.1, but for 6.6.0. I already have the needed binary packages installed from my Linux operating system, so there should be no issues with missing dependencies. But since the version of Qt is really fresh, maybe a small number of KDE Git repositories cannot yet build with this new version of Qt, but we'll see about that. So we'll be back once the KDE Git repository kcalc will finish building, which is kcalc is the desktop calculator, this thing. And then we'll run it, then we'll build all of the KDE frameworks version 6, and then probably Plasma minus integration. Okay, so kcalc was built correctly using kdesrc-build. The next step would be to run it to make sure that the executables are actually okay. So the application has started. As expected, we do not yet have the Qt 6 correct theming. So let's compare the application installed from my Linux operating system, which uses Qt 5. This is the theme that we want also for Qt 6 applications built using kdesrc-build. So for that, the solution is to build the KDE Git repository named Plasma minus integration. Okay, this is 48 Git repositories. Half of them have already been built because they were dependencies of the KD Git repository kcalc. So about 20 Git repositories to build. We'll pause for a second. Okay, so as said on the wiki page, it says that in order to build the module gpgme, that requires that we have this symlink set up, but the symlink is specific to the version of Qt. So it used to be 6.6.0 here, and now it's 6.6.1, so we'll need to redo this symlink. So let's see how that can be done. So that would be become a super user. No. Let's see. What this thing is. Okay, so it's a symlink towards this directory. So we'll need to delete the symlink, but it's owned by the user root. Okay. So rm this thing. Where are you? This file does not exist anymore. Let's edit in a text editor first and then paste. Okay. And now it points to the correct directory. But I'll still run the chown again, just in case. So my username is nrusp. This thing. Okay, and now we should be good to go. We can resume from gpgme. What's the syntax? So minus minus resume minus from equals, and then the name of a module will still be, try to build a module Plasma integration with all of its dependencies, but it will ignore in a linear fashion the dependencies until gpgme, and then start building from gpgme on. Okay, says mock not found, Qt6 binding will not be built. Why not? Why can't it find? I didn't do a refresh build, right? How do we do that? Let's delete gpgme. Let's build just gpgme and do a refresh. gpgme. No src. no include debug refresh build. So no src in order not to do git operations, no include dependencies, build just gpgme, not its dependencies, debug be mega verbose, and refresh build try to clean up the intermediate build files. And it fails in the exact same way. MOC not found. I'll see exactly what this thing is, but in the meantime, we'll just choose to ignore the module. So kdesrc-build plus my integration. What was that? I should have used no stop on failure, not ignore modules, but this should also be okay. So either you tell kdesrc-build build everything, but do not build gpgme, or you know that in fact gpgme is not really necessary in order to build plasma integration, so you tell it build plasma integration, but if one of the Git repositories fails to build, that's okay. Try to build the rest of the modules anyway. Maybe it's successful. Maybe I have a new enough version of gpgme already installed from my Linux operating system packages. Maybe there's just no need to build gpgme using kdesrc-build. So I'll be back in a second. So I did not know how to actually copy paste. So you're supposed to replace all of the usernames with your username. Replace all. And this would be 6.6.1. So that was the problem. Let's see how we do it. So delete the symlink. And now I can create the symlink. You can see it in here that the symbolic link was created incorrectly because there's no directory /home/username. Okay. Let's do the chown. Okay, and now it points to a directory that hopefully exists. It does. Okay. So we'll wait to have all of the Git repositories up until Plasma integration build, and then we'll try to build GPGME again, and that should be successful this time. Okay, so the module Plasma integration has finished building. Now we will run kcalc in order to show that it uses the same theme that the user has selected. So this is the theme, the Qt 5 theme that the user has selected. And KD Git repository is built using kdesrc-build for Qt 6. Now use the same theme. We can see that the versions are totally different. The kcalc, which is installed from my Linux operating system, is using Qt 5.15.10, whereas I use Qt 6.6.1 in kdesrc-build. And the KDE frameworks is version 6 versus version 5. Okay, so we have built many KDE frameworks version 6, an application with graphical user interface kcalc. We have built the needed theming and icon themes, etc. Next up would be to build all of the KDE frameworks. That's kdesrc-build and then frameworks. So this is 80 KDE Git repositories. I do not expect any surprise. And when it will get at GPGME, I hope that it's going to configure it correctly, build it correctly, and install it correctly. We'll see. Okay, so this was the step that failed before, which is configuring the step before actually building. Okay, so GPGME seems to be building correctly. I'll be back once this command line finishes, so kdesrc-build frameworks. So both GPGME and the entire KDE frameworks version 6 have built correctly using the latest version of Qt 6.6.1 just released, which is already available precompiled as binary libraries via the Qt online installer. Thank you.